Welcome. We are so glad you're here. Join us.
Every single member of this 9-girl group, I have a different opinion on.
But they run panels on K-pop, Disney, hentai,
Oh, amazing.
everything.
I'm there.
They run
Where
panels
do I
for
sign
it.
up? I don't think Olivia knows what hentai is because when I got excited about it, she was like,
I don't. I just love how people meet each other.
The
It's
things
fun.
you come into the middle of.
So, everyone, welcome to your Fanward Podcast. This is Olivia Blair, your host and co-founder here at Fanward, as well as Cody Red, host, incredible, all things. You're just all things. I need to have my list of when I'm talking about when I say Cody Red, and then this thing, we're going to have Calvé just pop up all the things that I think about you.
so you're not a professional wrestling fan, but back Chris Jericho, when he was first starting, one of the things he did would come out to the ring with a list that was as big as he was, and it was just all the stuff that he could do.
See, this is what we're going to have for Cody. Yep. All right, guys, we're going to bring in Melanye Franciso, who we love and adore, been with us. We met through Austin St. John, the original Red Power Ranger, but now 100% just all their own. And we have so much to discuss. She's K-pop fan. Oh my goodness, world traveler, amazing. She's been part of the community here, moderating for the fandoms here, but travels on the road with Austin and the different Power Rangers and works at cons. She's just a huge fandom nerd like us. And that is when you have found a way to bring what you love to life into your work and you're going, hey, I want to be able to do this all the time. And fuck what anyone else says, as Cody says, that when they're going, oh, why would you like to collect? Why would you write? Why would you do this? This is hobbies. No, at Fanward, it's not a hobby. It is what we do every single day. And we have so much fun doing it. I don't even, it's not a job. It has literally just become my life. And I wake up and I get excited. So we're going to bring Mel right in and let her talk about her amazing fandom life and what it means to be a fan, because we all like that shit too. Man. T-shirts coming soon. Trademark. Yes.
Copyright. Trademark. 2024.
2025.
I don't know what fucking year it is. Don't ask me.
I know. Yay!
The things you come into the middle of.
Okay. Yes. Always. Welcome. We are so glad you're here. Join us.
Right.
We were creating these new t-shirts, and then I was like, oh, and I said the phrase, and I was like, t-shirts coming soon. He's like, copyright 2024. I said, it's 2025. We can't copyright. Anyways, we're here now.
I don't even know what day it is.
Saturday.
It is, well, in Thailand, what day is it?
It's Saturday still.
Okay, it's still technically Saturday.
Late Saturday.
Yeah, for the next 40 minutes, it's Saturday.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's late Saturday.
Oh my God. So he put his girls behind him, and he's like, I think Mel's gonna have her boy. She'll have her boys to talk about.
I don't have any of my boys up yet.
We
I need
to
pick something. I know.
Well, hey, I was gonna bring out all my K-pop goodies, but I decided not to, just because we only have, we can't talk all day. Twice is they're my number one. Yeah, Twice is my number one.
I feel like we should have a K-pop off of you both listing your top 5 K-pop bands and see if any of them cross over, or because as someone who doesn't know anything about K-pop other than what you guys inject into me. I don't even want to say feed. I don't even want to say this is like, because I don't even know what's happening. Like, what's happening right now? It's amazing. This is Cody all the time. So
at the 2022 Power Morphicon, when we first met, somebody for that Day Zero event with Austin, somebody had him take a picture with the K-pop heart. And he had no idea.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, It's a K-pop heart. It's I Love You. It's their version of, for their fans, it's I love
like this. And
I did not know that till now. I've always wondered why they're doing that. I was like,
yeah, it's just like that.
And now you know.
And knowing's half the battle.
Yeah.
You're right. Now, so something I want to know is, We just got to start off on K-pop. So let's just do it.
All right.
Who's your?
Yeah, I know. Then we'll get to how we know each other. We're like, no, let's just dive into
Olivia,
everything we love.
You just sit there and So, what's your number one? What's your number one?
BTS.
Okay, you're a BTS. Okay. So Twice is mine. Number two.
Ooh. ATs.
Okay. That was an unexpected answer. Okay. Usually it goes BTS and then somebody else say Stray Kids. Like that's usually
It's really a close toss up between Stray Kids and ATs, but there's something about ATs. They're more hard hitting,
yeah.
which is kind of closer to J Rock
Yeah.
for me.
That's why I like NCT. That's why I'm an NCT guy. Because of that.
Yeah.
Wop, 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 wop. So, okay, so my number two is La Seraphim at the moment.
Okay.
They just blow me away. Every time they release a new song, they just get me. Okay, number three. Let's just go top three.
I kind of want to say Stray Kids, but at the same time, I want to say B2B.
Ooh.
Throwback.
She's got some deep cuts here.
You see me just smiling over here because I literally have.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of questions.
I'm literally just went foreign language. I need subtitles that have a description of what this is going on here. That's what I literally am hearing. Like, okay, keep going. I'm loving this.
Yep. I have an obvious number three, but I'm going to say a boy group instead of girls because all of my tops are girls. But I do have a top boy group. It's NCT 127.
Okay.
And the reason why, and this is going to transition into the next question I have, is because they were the group that got me back into K-pop after like 20 years out of it.
Oh wow!
So when Kick It released, I accidentally clicked on the page that nobody ever goes to on YouTube, which was the trending page, and that song was on the trending, and I'm like, okay, it looks like Bruce Lee stuff. I'll click on it. I clicked on it. The song just blew me away. And, of course, the guys look awesome. They're all good looking dudes. Yep. They're doing badass like dance moves and everything. And then I started listening to some more K-pop. I got into itzy. Itzy was the next group that I got into. Then Red Velvet and Everglow, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, and then I realized like I had listened to this stuff when I was a kid because there was this like little local like channel that tried to teach you Japanese where I lived. And in between the lessons, they would play music videos like from Asia. And I heard like Seven, which is a very far, that's like a way back throwback and stuff like that. So I liked K-pop all the way back then. So now I got to ask you, what got you into K-pop?
Susan and I met two girls at Yamacon in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee one year.
Love Pigeon Forge.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And they were big K-pop fans. They were there to see Johnny. We ended up staying like until the con kicked us out.
Whoa.
At the con. Yeah. Just talking in the lounge areas of the con.
That's awesome.
And so started listening a little bit then just so I'd have something to talk to them about.
Right.
And then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, I was working from home. I worked from home for COVID from March 19th. And I remember that because it was a couple of days after St. Patty's Day. And they told us to take everything home that we would need to work from home.
Oh, wow.
So March 19th of 2020 until like, sometime in like mid to early 2022, I worked from home.
That's
crazy.
Specifically work from home. And then we start going to office one day a week. And then something happened and 2021 we went back for a brief time. And then they sent us back home. And then we worked back home until 2022. And then we started going back in office one day a week. So, and I did that until I left last year. And I resigned and turned my stuff in 1 week before Helene hit.
Wow, you just locked in between stuff, huh?
That's
right.
Wild.
So BTS and their online concerts and the content that they were putting out and all that kind of stuff is what really got me into K-pop.
So you
And
actually got
then,
into it around the same time I did, around COVID time.
yep.
That's kind of cool.
BTS was one of the only acts that was doing a lot of online stuff with their fans.
Because I was going to ask you, I was like, I've never heard of artists doing online concerts, and we can get into that a little bit later. Because I was like, that's very fascinating.
Well, that's a lot of the K-pop actually, like they're very community based in a lot of ways. Like these girls back here will do live streams weekly, like just talking to their fans. Like this is the kind of stuff we had to talk about, Olivia. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like these that's what makes K-pop stand out, I think, you know, in a lot of ways. It's not just because they're gorgeous. Guys and girls are absolutely gorgeous. It's not just because they're talented, which they absolutely are. It's not just because they put on great shows. It's because you connect to every single one of them. Every single member of this 9-girl group, I have a different opinion on.
Yep.
Every single one of them. And it's because of the way they build their community with their fans.
Well, because it shows you that at the end of the day, there can be talent anywhere, like you said. There can be talent, there can be looks, there can be all these things. So this is fascinating to me. So Mel, what was it about the community? Like what hooked you of going, like, what about it just was like, oh, I'm going to choose K-pop. Like I'm going to be a part of
and
this.
don't just say they're pretty, because that's my answer.
No. Was it, or was it, because I know you mentioned Johnny Young Bosch. Were you working with Johnny Young Bosch at the time? Because I know he does like the voice acting and all that stuff in the anime. But
we helped him out. We've helped him out several years at Yamacon. Because he gets tremendous lines, kind of like Austin does.
Yeah.
When he goes,
I love JYB, so
yeah,
I get it.
I do too. And so in between events, we actually hosted a band at the time. He had a band I Shine fan meetup dinner.
Wow.
So that's how we met Shelby and Peyton. And they run panels called Pelby panels, PELBY panels.
Peyton and Shelby, like combined.
Wait, so what? I don't know who they are. So what do they do? Are they?
They're the ones that got her into K-pop.
Yeah,
yeah.
But they run panels on K-pop, Disney, hentai.
Oh, amazing!
Everything.
I'm there.
They run panels.
Where do I sign up?
Right. But they run a lot of panels at different conventions, and so that was how they weren't doing one at the time there, but that's how we met them, is because of that.
I don't think Olivia knows what hentai is, because when I got excited about it, she was like,
I don't. I just love how people meet each other. This is what my brain's registering. I'm just like,
yeah. So that's how we got with them. And they're the ones that brought us into K-pop. And Susan at first was like, I can't listen to that. That's just like that bubblegum pop kind of stuff. And then
some of it is, yeah, some of
it is. But then I got to listening to like the BTS songs and going back from when they debuted in 2013. But that's not when they formed. They formed in 2010.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and Jungkook, their main singer, was only like 13.
Yeah.
They sent him to America for a year to learn hip hop dance. And he's what they call the golden matinee. But I got into them not for their looks, but for the lyrics. Because they're all about standing up for yourself, acknowledging that people have mental health issues. Because one of their main rappers, Min Yugi, who goes by Suga in the group, and then August D separately, has suffered from depression and mental health issues and anxiety, and not feeling like his parents never wanted him to do anything in the music industry. And now he's one of the leading music producers in South Korea.
What?
Yeah. He's worked with people here in the United States. He worked with Psy, who did Gangnam Style.
Yeah.
He did a song with Psy called That, in which it was only supposed to be him producing it, and then Psy pulled him in and gave him a part in the song and put him in the music video. He's produced for American acts, he's produced for Korean acts, Japanese acts. I mean, he's produced for his own members.
I literally have goosebumps right now because this is just me. All my brain is hearing people that actually got involved with their community and like was open about basically giving other people a voice to be able to go, oh, thank God, that's me too. Like, I'm not alone. You guys gave me permission to say something out loud and repeat back, oh, that's me too. And sometimes that's all we need, especially because Cody and I talk about this with mental health. The amount of people growing up in the Midwest, you didn't discuss that. You didn't discuss therapy. You didn't discuss like anything. Like if you're going through a hard time, like you don't, it's, you either went and got prayed about it, or like.
Now imagine being in front of 20 billion people. And I mean, I've got an example to exactly what she said. Where is it at? This lady right here, Zhonglian, she has really bad social anxiety. So she ended up gaining like 30 or 40 pounds. And some people were like, oh, you need to remove her from the group. You need to kick her from the group. You know what her real fans did? They were like, all 9, like original 09 is which is like original 9 or
OT9,
none.
OT9, yep.
OT9 or none. Because everybody in that community, the ones, the real ones, were like, we get rid of one, no twice.
Yep.
So when she started gaining that weight, there were people that were like, oh, she doesn't need, because K-pop is a very aesthetic thing. It's very aesthetic. But I mean, look at her though. Like she's still like drop dead gorgeous. But they were like, get rid of her. She's too big, whatever. And they were like, no. Twice fans were like, no, we don't get rid of anybody. They're Twice. And but it's because now if they hadn't had that community, or if they hadn't had that whatever it is about them that draws the people
that made them human, made people
somebody
like
might have just kicked her.
Exactly.
They might have just said, not sure, kick her. Nope.
Well, I mean, it's like when BTS was coming up, there was a lot of calls to remove Hobie because he didn't have the traditional looks.
Right.
And then
Chaeryeong from itzy. Chaeryeong from itzy. I think she's gorgeous, but same thing.
And then Jimin, when he started gaining weight, people started criticizing him. Suga, when he had that accident with the scooter, in which he didn't fall over because he was drunk. He fell over because he lost his balance. He hit that curb and lost his balance. And everybody was saying that he needed to go. And real Army
is what the fan base is called.
Yeah.
Olivia.
Okay. I love it. Yes. I'm literally soaking this in.
In K-pop, we all have the fan bases all have names, which we've talked about Fanward.
Yes.
Yep.
Our Army is the name for BTS fans.
It actually has a motto, and I can't remember it exactly right now. But it actually stands for something. And let me look that up real quick because it's going to kill me now.
I'm loving this. Like it's just
but there's fake, and then there's what they call sasaengs, which are kind of like anti-fans.
Yeah.
And these are the people that will stalk them. Like people have gotten into Jungkook's new place, which was built with more added security. And he's the youngest member of BTS.
And the thing is, Olivia, is like these, like a lot of K-pop like agencies, which are massive. They've got millions, like a lot. They don't even allow the singers to date publicly. No. Because people get so rabid over it that they lose their, fans are crazy. Some fans are crazy. So K-pop is at that size where it's like they can't even publicly date. You hear rumors all the time, but I think that's a lot of that's shipping, I think, in most cases.
Wow.
But ARMY stands for Adorable Representative MC for Youth. And we actually have like Silver Army, which is people above 40 or 50.
Oh my goodness.
There are 80-year-old ARMY fans.
Oh.
There's a grandpa that went with a list of the members' names because they have a fan chant that starts with their leader, and then it goes from the leader from the oldest to the youngest. So it's Kim Namjoon, Kim Seokjin, Min Yoongi, Jung Ho Seok, Park Jimin, Kim Taehyung, John Jungkook, BTS.
Hey,
and that's the whole thing.
There's a Twice one too. Can I see if I remember it?
Sure.
Nayeon, Chaeyoung, Momo, Sanachi, Omina, Dayeon, Oh, because it's a whole song and it's really cute when they do it. It's not cute when the 30s, however old I am, does it. But it's really cute when they do it.
Yeah, it's like the Stray Kids one where each one introduces the next person.
Oh, and it's so fucking cute when they do it on Twice. I just get, I get so giddy. It's so cute.
But yeah, I mean, BTS talks about, and I think some of the other groups do too, but BTS takes on all kinds of social issues, and they've spoken at the UN 3 times.
Wow.
3 times. They're the only K-pop group to ever do that. They're the only K-pop group to ever visit the White House and speak on anti-Asian hate.
Wow.
Yeah, they did that under Biden, and I think that was in 2022, 2021.
Around that time, yeah. I think that was
right before they went in. It was right before they went in. And RM has spoken about, they even have a whole album devoted to loving yourself.
This is wild to me. I'm like, when
Olivia, this is what the podcast is for.
I know my mind. My mind is blown. And this is why I love like talking with everyone. Cause like you and I can talk off screen, like, and it's like, we've said this before. It's like when we've gone to the cons and like, my still favorite time ever is the first time we met at Power MorphoCon. And then you and Susan came over and we got to sit and talk for those couple hours. And I'm like, I feel like I want more times like that. Like, I'm like, oh my goodness. And so this is literally taking me back. I'm like, just like, I have my cup of coffee and I'm going, oh my God. Because I didn't grow up with this is a whole world to me, but I love communities. And so when I'm hearing this, I'm going, oh my goodness, I want that for our fans. Like I want to grow that kind of space because, and we were talking about this earlier, we want to grow the spaces that we wished were done for us, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I'm so grateful we met. Yes, it was through Austin, but it's like, you're all on your own now. Like, I mean, it's like, you're my brain. I'm like, oh, Austin, I love you, Austin, dude. Mwah, you know, whatever.
Thanks for Mel. Bye.
Thanks for Mel. You introduced us. You introduced us, but it's like, it's just like, it's all just this. After that, it was just you and then Susan, but it's like you and I work together more. But I'm like, hearing all this, I'm like, I'm loving hearing this because when I see you get excited and seeing how much this means to you, I'm like, that's what I want to do. And I'm just so grateful. Anyways, keep going. My brain's going 20 million directions. I'm so happy about this. This is so cool to me because I've never experienced a fandom like that.
You know how many fandoms I'm a part of.
I know.
And K-pop is one of the only ones I collect for. I've got books full of cards, Twice, aespa, itzy, Stacy. I even got some new jeans. Like every time I go to we have this mall with a little shop that sells the photo cards, and I buy a box every time I go in.
Wait, so is K-pop, because this is like a legit question because I don't know. Are K-pop bands even bigger than most American bands? Like, are they is it like?
I think what happens is they have more international appeal because of Asia is so big. Like, Twice is coming to Bangkok in December. By the way, I want to tell a really quick story about my wife and how amazing she is. I asked her what she wanted for her birthday, and she said she wanted money. When I asked why, she said, because I want to buy you VIP tickets to go see Twice in December. They're just too expensive. So if anybody wants to donate to me going to see Twice in December, VIP tickets, and they're right next to the stage, so I can see Dahyun and throw her a really close kiss and maybe marry her, secondary marriage to my current marriage, that would be great. Just donate anytime you want. You can just message me, just email me, whatever. You just message, just type in the comments. That's fine. Anyway, when Twice comes to Bangkok, they don't go to an arena. They go to a stadium, like the biggest ones you can get. They're playing at Impact Arena is what it's called, but it's the biggest arena in Bangkok. It's because K-pop is at this point one of the largest, let's call it, genres of music in the world.
Yep.
Really?
I just set up my Spotify because I usually use YouTube, but I just set up Spotify because I can organize things better. And I was going through looking at monthly listeners on K-pop groups. Holy moly. You're talking tens, if not hundreds of millions of people listening monthly to a specific K-pop group.
Mm-hmm.
They're off the chains. And groups like Blackpink and BTS are at the top of the food chain. And Blackpink has Lisa, who has gone and done solo work, and she's basically a goddess here in Thailand because Lisa is Thai. And she's a part of a K-pop group, but she's Thai, and she lives here, or she comes back here, and she's treated like a goddess. She just released a solo, but she didn't just. I'm terrible with time, but she released a song called Rockstar not too long ago, which is a banger, by the way. But they shut down, and I've been here, so I know how busy it is. They shut down the entirety of Chinatown in Bangkok, which is the largest Chinatown in the world. They shut down the entire street, the entire area, just so she could record her music video. And that area is constant traffic, constant people in the street selling street food and stuff. And they shut it all down so she could record a music video.
BTS has music videos that have not millions of views, but billions of views. They have one song, it was released 7 years ago. It's called Mic Drop.
Love it. That's my favorite BTS
the
song.
Steve Aoki version.
Yep.
And it has 1.5 billion views.
One song.
One song. When the last member enlisted for their mandatory service.
South Korea has mandatory military service.
Yeah.
So
all the K-pop idols have to go. They're not exempt.
So even if they're in a group, they get sent off to military service and come back. Yep. And they're welcomed back by the fan clubs like gods.
BTS, they went on hiatus as a group in October of 21, I believe, 21 or 22.
That sounds about right, I think.
Because Jen, the oldest one, went in first.
Wow.
And they did a multi-billion-dollar band that during COVID brought in over 50% of the country's entire
GDP.
Oh my God.
Yeah. During COVID, during the first year of COVID, they brought in over 50% of the country's entire GDP.
Now the question is for us, Olivia, at Fanward, is why would they do that?
No, this is where that's why I can't talk right now, because I need a constant. I'm like, literally my brain is like, what in the world?
So
that is so beautiful to me. Like, I'm like, what are they doing that makes it different for you than any other band?
It's for me, for BTS, they give so much back. They've done things where they've given like $1 million to a supposed nonprofit. We won't go into that one. But the the fans turned around and matched that $1 million US donation in 24 hours.
Wow.
I have so much goosebumps. I'm like,
they do food drives in the name of BTS and donate to the local food banks. Whenever BTS comes to that city, ARMY will get together, even if it's just a single member, they get together and they do charity products for that city.
It's amazing. And I mean, even with Twice, like Twice doesn't so much do the charity thing, but what they do is they love their fan base, and they make it very clear. The Twice fans are called onces. We're a once. We're once, they're Twice because we come first. Anyway, they literally released a song not that long ago. I think it was on their 5th year. And it was literally just them. Every shot in the music video was them looking at the camera. And it was them talking about their anniversary with us. Every shot, every frame was them looking at the camera, not looking away, not trying to be somber. It was them having fun, dancing, giving gifts to the camera. It was very much a perspective of the fan thing. And it's still one of my favorite. It's still one of my favorite music videos of theirs, because I legitimately feel like when Dahyun turns around and looks at the camera, she's looking at me. Dahyun's my bias, by the way. It used to be Momo, but I can't stand the short hair. Look, she's had it long enough. By God, I can change my opinion. Okay. Anyway, it's Dahyun now. Anyway, Momo, I still love you. You're still my second. Anyway, but it's that kind of thing. It's that fan focus that we're always talking about. And with Mel here, it makes a lot of sense that we're talking about K-pop, and she's worked with Power Rangers, because what makes Power Rangers last 30 years is that fan focus, the constant conventions, like Always. JDF was at I don't ever remember seeing an ad for a convention that JDF wasn't on. You know what I mean?
Right.
And Austin and Walter, 30 years of constant. And it feels like to us, even if we're paying for it, giving back. They're going out to those conventions all the time. I cannot imagine how exhausted they are, but they're still there.
Yep.
And it feels like giving back. Every time they sign an autograph and it costs $30 or $40 or whatever, it feels like giving back. We don't think about the money once we're up there. We don't think about it at all.
No, you're thinking about your childhood and what they meant to you.
Yep.
Like I was older when Power Rangers came out. I was in my first year in the Navy. Actually, I just completed my first year in the Navy.
Wow.
I've been about a year and 10 days when August 28th, 1993 hit.
That's
cool.
crazy. Okay, so you were Navy. Thank you for your service. You're amazing. We love you.
So I was in, and I worked the third shift. So I got off at like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and the only things on were the
Cartoons.
news, which I did not want to deal with because I was living it.
Yeah.
Right.
Barney, which I once ran an RPG to kill Barney.
Like tabletop RPG?
No, online chat RPG.
Oh, I'm still into it. We got to hear that story eventually. Go ahead, keep going.
It was this. Barney had been occupied by an evil spirit, and my group set out to cleanse the spirit and destroy Barney.
We used to, okay, real quick, while we're still at Barney, we used to have this thing in school because at that time I was still little, and we had this thing where we had this like stupid rhyme. I can't remember it now, but it was like I can't remember it, but it was hilarious. That's all I know.
I love that.
Continue.
I love that for both of us.
So then like I was in Washington State. I was 2 hours north of Seattle and 2 hours south of Vancouver, British Columbia, on a little island, which we only had 3 ways on. A small prop, like 6 to 8 seat prop plane, ferry, or a 2-lane bridge. 1 lane going, 1 lane.
Oh my goodness.
That kind of 2-lane bridge that got shut down when the winds hit 40 miles per hour or more. Yeah, it was kind of freaky, but
yeah, sounds like it.
And so I would watch the Canadian stuff. And one morning I got done watching Ronin Warriors, and then Power Rangers came on, and I was like, okay, well, this ain't that bad. I was totally pissed when Tommy popped in and took over the the Zord and all that kind of stuff. And I watched it, even to the point where I would record it if I wasn't going to be home. And so I would watch it back. And so I got into it, and then I got transferred. And then they stopped showing it on one of the channels I was watching. So it moved to a different time. So I missed some and then got back. And then I transferred to go to A school in Millington in 96. And I stopped watching it. And then sometime later, I don't remember when it was around the time that Dino Thunder came out. I saw it again, and I was like, he looks familiar. I was like, wait, Power Rangers is still on?
I love this.
And so I watched a little bit of that one, and then didn't watch the next season. And then I started writing fan fiction.
What?
That's always the next step. That's always the next step.
Mm-hmm. I
did the same thing with Resident Evil.
Yeah, I started writing it on a dare.
What kind of fan fiction did you like? How did you create it for you?
I gave Tommy a younger brother.
Ooh.
He did have an older brother in the show.
Yes, he did. But I gave Tommy a younger brother.
Played by his real life brother.
Yes. In the show, Tommy was adopted, and he was separated from his birth family. You never knew what happened to his real parents.
Mm-hmm.
Because David never said, his brother on the show. And so he eventually finds David. after some vision quest that they had to do to get their next set of powers. And so he reconnects to his real life brother, but in the stories, I gave Tommy a younger brother.
Oh, that's cool.
And then they get separated. We won't go into why they get separated on air.
Okay. I'm like, I want to know. Anyways, okay, got it.
But there's multiple stories out there that I've done. I've done some for NCIS, done some for Smallville. Oh yeah.
Wait, when you say out there, you mean you have them published somewhere that we could read them?
Yes.
Where?
Fanfiction.net.
Oh my God.
It's still around too.
Dude, so you're like my sister. This is like, she writes all this fan fiction to this day. She will not tell me what her name is because she just wants to write. Like, none of us know. Like, but she writes all this stuff and she's on all these like fan fiction sites. And she's like, oh yeah, I still have no idea.
I read a lot of fan fiction still, but I've moved over to the K-pop based ones.
Okay.
Okay. I'm interested.
AO3.
I knew it existed. Obviously.
AO3.
Okay. I have not partaken in any, but on your opinion, should I partake?
I would.
Okay.
As long as you're not opposed to reading other people's ideas of the ship involved.
Right.
Mm.
Right. Now, what
as
you
long
just
as
said is really important in K-pop. Like, that question is imperative.
Oh, really?
It really is, because there's some people that read things into, like, BTS started off in a 1-bedroom apartment because that was all their company could afford. Big Hit did not start out with any money.
Wow.
None. I mean, I'm talking cleaning out garages that their managers owned to film videos. Going to the store and buying their own t-shirts and decorating them or having them printed so that they would have a uniform look on stage.
Wow.
They were not given an opportunity to even debut on a music show until 2013, when somebody canceled last minute and they were the very last act to perform. So BTS started from absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
And so they all slept in 1 bedroom. Jungkook was still in junior high. Jimin and Taehyung, or V as I call him, were just starting high school because they're 2 years older. And I think Hobie and Namjoon were finished or had just finished or were finishing their last years when they all started. So now all of them have high school diplomas, at least a bachelor's, if not a master's. Namjoon has a genius level IQ. He goes by the stage name RM, which used to stand for Rap Monster, and now it stands for Real Me.
Hmm.
And so he only goes by RM. And so they started from absolutely zero. And as they worked their way up, they've just, they don't forget where they've come from.
How does that, so how would you define that when you're looking at them? Like, what makes you feel that? Like, when you look at them and go, oh, they don't forget. How would you define that to someone?
They still do things just for their fans. They do something called Festa every year. And it's right around the time of Army's birthday, which is 6/13. And Jimin even has a tattoo on his wrist of the number 6/13.
Which is the anniversary of the fans themselves.
Fandom.
Like the fandom itself.
Not BTS's anniversary.
Right.
The day Army got its name and was formed.
Wow.
Which was after the band debuted.
So it represents the fandom.
Right. So
Now,
they don't.
Go ahead.
So that's what they do every year, is they celebrate that. And they get together, they cook, they reminisce about what they mean to each other, what the fans mean to them, and it's an every year anniversary. And during COVID, they put it out live, like 2 and 3 days worth of concert.
Wow.
They put out live.
So no one's missing it.
No one's missing it.
And Olivia, like groups like Twice, I'm going to bring up Twice because they're my favorite, but almost all of them do it. They have like entire like hour-long episodes they'll just put up on YouTube of them playing games together. Or them just joking around, or them like one of the ones that they like to do is like imitate being in a classroom with one of the members as a teacher, and it always gets millions of views. They're just goofing off. But what it is it creates. I don't know for sure. I'm just talking shit. But I think K-pop has probably the deepest parasocial relationships in the world. I can't think of a single, like every fandom has somebody who, sinks into the parasocial.
Right.
Even I can admit that I have parasocial relationships with these girls.
Yes.
Like I have formed them. They're not like obsessive. They're not, okay, maybe just a tiny little bit. But they feel like healthy parasocial relationships because I can't go to Korea and blah, 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 but they give me just enough on YouTube. They give me just enough in the music videos. They give me just enough in the photo cards and all of this stuff. And the way that they talk on their lives and the way that the fans, the once is all of us. We are all once. Every Twice fan is a once. And that parasocial relationship doesn't feel toxic to me because I love my wife, obviously. I mean, just a minute ago, by the way, I just want to say she came down the stairs and she did this and then went back up the stairs. Anyway, but my wife's the best. I'm just telling you. But that parasocial relationship in K-pop is because of how they treat their fans. It doesn't matter how pretty they are, how talented they are. Anybody can be talented. Anybody can be pretty. I've seen very pretty girls get kicked out of a group for not being cool. La Seraphim used to be a either 5 or 6 girl group, and they kicked a girl just because there were accusations that she bullied in high school. They kicked her out of the group, and no, they never looked back. La Seraphim is one of the biggest groups in the world now. So one of the biggest girl groups. So it's like that stuff is that community, that fan, like letting the fans feel something is more important than anything else. And they do it. They do it meticulously.
And then you have like, they're like brothers. BTS is like a group of brothers because they've grown up together. They suffered through those early stages together. I mean, Hobie almost left, and it was the youngest ones that brought him back. They've all cried together. They thought about disbanding at one point. There's what they call the 7-year curse in K-pop.
Yeah.
Where after generally 7 years, usually a band is no longer, or a group is no longer together enough to go on. But BTS, right after they completed their military service, or even before that, re-signed together. And so you have people that take that closeness, like Taehyung and Jungkook are really close. So there's people that call them Taekook.
Taekook, yeah.
And then you have Jimin and Jungkook, who are both from Busan, where they did that free concert before everybody started doing their own projects and enlisting. And they put them together, and it's Jikook, or Sugar and Cookie. Jungkook is also called Cookie, And then you have people that get upset because they've taken that friendly relationship and turned it into a romantic one in fan fiction.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And so people will lash out at people, especially like on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, who do thread stories, and people will lash out at them because they dared to show how this could be romantic.
Right.
And it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility that there was never any romantic relationships within some of the groups.
Especially when they're not allowed to date.
Yeah. And they were all teens, at one time or another. So, I mean, it's not without, am I saying that they did? No. But you would be stupid to not believe that there's a chance.
Yeah.
And Olivia?
And so, I mean, and that's one of the things that, fans take too much stock in sometimes.
Yeah, they definitely can. And like Twice has 9 members. for every combination of any of these two girls, there is a Momo and Dahyun together is Damo.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like every single one of these girls combined with any other of the other girls has some like little name, you know, your Brangelina or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people who do it romantically. There are people who just say they're best friends or whatever.
Yep.
But that and they make it. They feed into it a lot of the time. Especially Twice, like they slap each other's butts and stuff, and you know they'll like try to kiss each other on stage, and they'll be like whatever. They feed into it, but it shows it shows once again that closeness to that community because they know what people are saying, and it's just brilliant. K-pop's brilliant, dude.
They really are.
I'm totally enthralled because question, when it comes to their fandoms, so you have what each band, like what they represent and who they are, and it sounds like they have their narrative and they stick they hold that story very, you know, carefully. But in that sense of, so they hold their values, whatever it is, like their vision for their company, their band. Do they allow their fans then just to feel also what they want, and they just be the ones that they represent, and then let everyone kind of have their? Because it sounds like there's a lot of opinions. There's a lot of is the community. I mean, all communities have toxicity because it's so massive. How do they, as a fan, how do you feel about being a part of the community? Do you love being a part of groups, or how does it feel?
There is some toxicity within Army, but the thing is that true Army, not people that are just hangers on. True OT7 Army. OT is original team. True OT7 Army will do everything they can to silence the naysayers.
I love that.
When Suga had his little public drunkenness spiel, and he was arrested and was going to be charged with DUI and all this kind of stuff, people were sending funeral flowers to Hybe.
Hybe is
saying that.
I know. No, I actually do know that because I watched as weird as it sounds, I watch K-pop documentaries on how they're made, but I don't. So I'm a docu person, so I actually know. Yeah. Yep.
The BTS guide is really well done. And they put several armies got together and did that, and then just had one person do it. But
it really does show you how fans, you know, represent the people that are leading. And so if you have a community, we're going, hey, this is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to go about it. Yep. Yes, you're always going to have toxic people. That's just going to happen. But if the community themselves are going, these are our goals. This is what we're striving for. This is what we represent. This is who we're going to be. Then the energy is going to match. You're going to find. And I absolutely love that because that's really encouraging to me.
Yeah, and Real Army went and took the funeral flowers down.
Wow.
As soon as they were put up, Army was going up and taking them back.
I love that.
And throwing them away, throwing them in the trash. And then Army rented trucks with running billboards on the side saying, "We love you, Suga, OT7, you know, you will always be part of BTS," you know, and that kind of stuff. Rented billboards.
This is amazing.
And the thing is like as a fan of Twice, I'd beat some ass over Twice. Like I'm that loyal to Twice. Like I don't ever go to concerts. I used to go to metal concerts all the time because I used to be a metalhead. But when my wife was like, "I want to take you to see Twice in December," I felt my heart jump out of my chest. Like I can't imagine that. Like it's way too expensive, but I can't imagine like going to see Twice, like actually seeing them in real life on stage, because they will look straight at you. Like in the crowd, they will look at you and they'll give you these and these, and I would probably explode or pee myself or both. I would probably just pee myself into explosion.
I've got some amazing shots from being like 5 or 6 people back from the stage from ATs.
Right.
I was on barricade for Hyde, talking about J-Rock.
I was awesome.
I was on barricade at a festival. It was one of those where they had a split stage.
Yeah.
So somebody else performed first, And then they moved over to the other side. Well, Hyde set up, and it was him solo, not with Vamps or Larkin Cial. It was just him solo. And while they were at the other stage, we actually got up, and I was on the rail.
Wow.
And I had
That's
some
awesome.
killer shots from that too. I saw
I
him
just wanna
3
say-
times in 2019.
That's awesome. I just want to say Larkin Ciel was the first J-Rock band I ever heard. And after them, it was Gure or Glay. Glay was the band that actually got me into J-Rock. That was the first imported album I ever bought. And it cost me a lot.
Yeah.
But
I bought
their
some
music,
Gazette stuff that cost me a little bit.
oh yeah. Yeah, it cost you a lot back then.
Yeah, and this is the difference between J-Rock and K-pop. Darren Gray was
Great
the
band.
only J-Rock group to do a live concert during COVID.
Mm,
There was no audience, but they were the only ones to do anything like that. None of the groups really did anything online. None of them really did anything through social media. Nothing like that. K-pop was still doing at-home live streams.
Man, I love this.
They were still doing BTS was still doing online concerts. BTS was still doing their show called Run BTS, which they did because they were not getting invited onto any like little programs, music programs or anything like that. Little shows like that. And the one time Jungkook was actually brought onto one, he bought hamburgers and sodas with his own money to take with him, being the youngest, and he was pretty much rejected
Wow.
on
And-
camera.
And Olivia, you know what this all ties back into?
Oh,
You know who else did this stuff? The WWE.
Yep.
When everybody else shut down, when everybody said we're not doing sports anymore, WWE went to the Florida government and said, we are a necessary business. And they kept doing shows. They didn't have an audience. They created what was called the Thunderdome, and they put fans on cameras and let
Yes.
them sit on screens in the crowd. We are always talking about WWE does community better than anybody else. K-pop did the exact same thing. And they do the exact same thing every day. If every single day or every couple of days, I can go onto the Twice YouTube and I can see them just goofing off and being funny, being charming, making me want to fall in love with them.
Weverse is the same thing. Yeah, Weverse is the same thing for multiple groups like or like TXT, BTS, and there's several groups on there from the US and all that kind of stuff. And there's always lives going on, especially on a member's birthday. Or they just, like after concerts, I know BTS and Stray Kids and ATEEZ will get on lives after concerts, be it the whole group or just a couple of the members, and they alternate, who's getting on with who and on what day and all that kind of stuff. And the community is less toxic at times than the Power Ranger community.
Well, I'm hearing you have here you're talking about having a song like with 1.5 billion views. When I think of this audience, I'm like, this is not, and then half of the country's GDP. Like, it shows you who's the energy that's leading, the thought, but like the intention. And like you're talking about, like, it is so intentional. Everything has a purpose. That draws an audience who also wants purpose, who also wants to be part. Like, to me, you are what you reflect. Like, it is.
Yes.
And I am just like, this gives, as weird as this sounds, just because I love community so much. And I grew up in a community that didn't feel as safe. And that's why I wanted to duplicate something, remake something that gives that space for even myself to walk into. We've talked about this. But this gives me hope to be like, oh my goodness, because Cody and I have talked about this. Like, we want to start doing charities. He and I we're working on the Discord to do live streams and game rooms. And Miguel and I'm working with this little 12-year-old kid who wants to make a card game called Popular versus Unpopular. And it's from the perception of 11-year-old. And he wants to make questions that he feels as a kid, as 11-year-old, that are unpopular, to ask like nerd questions because he gets made fun of. So he wants to make a game where if you're willing to answer the unpopular question and tell the truth, then you get more points and you get a move ahead. If you answer the unpopular, but you don't know which one you're answering, it's being like authentic, like, oh, I can answer that one. Well, that was considered actually a popular question, you know, based off of from an 11-year-old's perspective. But we were talking about like Cody and I are building out these Discords, building these chat rooms, letting people speak, streaming all the time. I'm like, I want to live in this space. And to me, to hear that there's communities out there doing that. And that's just me being naive because I've just been living in this space. And that's why I have you guys.
I don't think it's naivety.
It's
I don't
not.
think it's naivety.
I just think,
because like when I first got into K-pop, Twice wasn't even on my radar. I was into NCT 127 and itzy. Those were the two groups I said, I'm not listening to anymore. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go down. And now I buy photo cards. And now I would take a bullet for these girls.
Yeah.
And like,
BTS is my ride or die.
Yeah. See, there is something I feel some sort of irrational pride being a Twice fan. And I don't know how to explain that because I don't get that with Power Rangers or Lord of the Rings or whatever. But when it comes to Twice, I feel an irrational sense of pride just being a once. And I don't know how to explain that. But I do know that it might not be that irrational because I see how they treat the fans. I see them writing an entire song and making a music video, looking into the camera and talking straight to me.
Yep.
And I go, and that verifies and justifies all the feelings I have.
Yeah.
You know, and go ahead.
Army gave back BTS at one of the sold out Wimbledon concerts.
Selling out Wimbledon's a big deal.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, this is blowing my mind.
So, and I don't remember what year it was, but right before the last song, before BTS even came out, a message flashed on the screen and it said, Army, let's surprise BTS. They're like, after the last Mint, and Mint is where they get up and they talk to everybody and, you know, say little things and interact with each other a little bit while talking to the fans. It says, after the last Mint, let's sing Forever Young to BTS.
Yeah.
And so right before they started the last song, you see Army sing flash on the screens at Wimbledon. And then the lyrics for Forever Young come up. And BTS cried on stage.
Wow.
Every single member had tears in their eyes. And Jimin and Jungkook and Hobie all just broke down.
Yeah.
Jungkook had a hard time singing because him and Tae and a couple of the others actually joined in towards the end of the song to sing with Army. Not for Army or to Army, but with Army. When they were done, he was crouched down on the stage with his head in his arms crying because that moment meant so much to them. And RM kind of joked with them and goes, Army, that wasn't on the set list. And so, I mean, it's things like that where, you know, the artist gives back and the fans then give back.
Yes.
So us having the community to be able to bring together something like that,
yes,
is what I want to see.
100%.
Because there's not enough of that out there.
No.
Because so many fan pages are toxic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many fan pages, and there is stuff that is just people don't want to see, or it's so argumentative. Like I mod a group that we had to turn off character versus character discussions because they would get so toxic that the fans would turn around and take it into DMs and threaten people.
Yeah.
With physical harm and violence. And I'm talking about a Power Ranger board.
Yeah.
You know, and then they let toxic discussions go on. You know, like things
how
like,
do these,
you know.
how do these K-pop bands do it? How do they handle the toxic discussions?
Well, one, fans police each other.
I love that.
And Two, I know Hybe has it on the Weverse community that if you see something, especially like where they start talking crap about a member or trying to spread supposed rumors about a member, you let Hybe know.
Wow.
And Hybe will go after them legally.
In connection to that, I've actually seen K-pop agencies release like publicly on Twitter, X, whatever, Instagram. We do not condone the stalking of our members. We do not condone the spreading of rumors. If they are very public about it. If something comes up, they're like, we do not condone this. It is not allowed. It will not be tolerated. And they will legally, I can't remember exactly what the topic was, but recently somebody actually got like legally like reprimanded for something they did. I don't remember exactly what it was.
It was that one YouTuber that went after V and Tae, or V and Jungkook.
That's what it was. Yeah. Yeah.
He legally got in trouble. He is permanently banned from YouTube, Discord, like 3 or 4 other platforms, and he's facing possible fines, monetary fines, or I don't know if it's he or she, but they're facing possible monetary fines for spreading false rumors on YouTube.
And that's just for spreading rumors.
Yeah. And trying to get fans to go after the talent.
Yeah. I just, to me, it gets me excited because, and Mel, I can't wait. We're going to talk more about this off camera, but this coming up in the next, especially coming up into the new year, we cannot wait to show the fandom here within Fanward and is expanding outside because we want to hit so many more fandoms. We basically just want to be a fandom hub where it brings people together, but most importantly, where we can start having these community events, game nights, live streams. Cody and I are a couple times a year, charity events where, the fans get to vote on who do we want to give back to as a community? Like, what matters to you all? And it is, I was talking to John Martin. He was saying how he and his wife eventually want to open like a karaoke restaurant. I was like, why don't we open a virtual, like online karaoke restaurant in the Discord, and you send out your recipe, basically the menu, people make the food off the menu. We all come together as a community, eat together and do karaoke. I was like, who says, we live in this online world. I'm like, I just want people like to eat together. We've talked about this as a community. Mukbangs, yes. And I'm like, now, personally, the idea of hearing someone eat freak me out. It is,
I can't participate in a mukbang. I won't be there.
No, I will be there. I'll literally be there like the kid with like headphones that are used so I don't hear. But the point was I'm like, it's a community. I want to do community events. And then we have our individual celebrities that we're honored to partner with get to come in and join these events. But it starts with the people here. It starts with us. And for so long, when we first started working with the different celebrities, we were partnering with them to create this bridge for them to the fans. And we were this invisible in the sense of like, we're just this bridge. You're just walking across Fanward to get there. And then we started meeting people along the bridge and we started talking. And then we all started hanging out on the bridge, which is Fanward. We started all hanging out here. We started talking. We're like, oh my goodness, we're not just a bridge. We're a location. Oh, we're not just this. Oh, we're becoming a community. And I'm getting involved. I'm getting invested. I'm learning things like K-pop and about Power Rangers and Teen Wolf and these communities that I never had the opportunity to have as a kid. And I'm learning about these conversation starters that are bringing these people together. Some of my deepest relationships I met starting with Power Rangers because Austin was the first one we worked with. Austin and I met because of Nick Kellis and because of my cousins who were in the military. They happened to come to Ohio because we were my cousin's one's wife. He was still in the military. She had just gotten out. She was staying with us with their youngest son, Jason. She and I bonded and we just became friends, and she got me into country music and all this stuff. Anyways, but we became friends. And then when I moved to LA, they were like, hey, you need to meet Nick. And they work with Power Rangers. You're good people. They just wanted to connect good people. It was literally, we just ate
Mhm.
over sushi and we're like, dude, I just like you as a human. I didn't know who Power Rangers was. I didn't even know who Austin was. It was that human connection. And for me, it's never been
Love
about the
Nick.
actors we work with. It's always been about, can I look you in the eye and go, hey, I can hang out with you? Still to this day, I'm like, I look at Austin, I'm like, dude, we just have so much fun hanging out together. And
Right.
that's what I want for the community. It's not, it's these conversation starters that bring us together. And Fanward was building and we were stretching and finding our way. But now our focus is just going headlong, like focused into the community and creating events and things like you're talking about right now. So when I hear you talk about that, they're doing it and it's working, I'm like, fuck yes. Because this is what I
Mhm.
dream for people. And I want to do that here in America, not just, I love that these other countries are doing it,
Exactly.
but I want to do it for here. And I want that to be like the biggest thing ever.
And like Cody was saying, the WWE did the concert where, they had screens and all that for their fans to watch.
Yes.
BTS, I know, did that as well in one concert.
Yes.
And they would point at different armies, like I think, one army dressed up in a banana or something like that, and they were pointing at it and, and everybody was waving at them and all that kind of stuff. And I can see doing something like that with Fanward.
Yes.
And even one point, maybe trying to pick a middle point, where we can all, organize a trip and
Yes.
everybody meet
That'll
and
be your job. You'll
do.
be the organizer.
I can do it, and and everybody just meet up and do like some group activity together, or
Yeah.
even just rent out a room in a restaurant or something
Yes.
and just hang out and eat and talk,
Yes.
and that kind of stuff. Fanward could even do a virtual con if they wanted to.
We've
Yeah,
been
we've
discussing
already
this.
discussed it.
This
Yep,
is what
we've
this is
already
why I'm
talked
getting
about it.
excited, because we literally, when we were building out the Discord, we're like, oh, we want to create a virtual con here where vendors can come and have their stuff in the channels. We can go live, we can all get together and have like that virtual con. But I love also the in-person. I've lived online so
Mhm.
long. Mel, when I went to the San Diego con, for the first time this year, and Miguel and I, we have a video coming out. Miguel and I filmed our whole entire experience from the time we woke up, because it was my first one and it was absolute chaos. We almost died like 3 times just trying to get there. And we lost our tickets. We didn't have our shoes. We lost our phones. It's chaos. But
Hey,
it was,
if you don't almost die at least twice at a convention, you didn't go to a
oh,
convention.
yeah.
I got back from a convention and almost died because my driver went the wrong way down the on ramp.
Oh my, see, this is
And I'm
how I
like,
feel.
and I called Susan and I'm like, he's trying to kill me.
This was and Miguel is a great driver, but we literally stopped 2 times in the middle of the highway because we were having so much fun, and he just kept missing it. And I'm like, oh my God, Miguel. I'm like, we're in the middle of the high, like we're just stopped because he's like, I'm gonna just stop and get over to that exit because I'm like, get off at the next. Anyways, but the point of the con is like, I went to that in-person thing, that in-person event.
Mhm.
I felt this energy that I'd never felt in my life. I'm telling you. Yes, I grew up a preacher's kid and I grew up in church. I have never had that level of almost a spiritual awakening inside me where I was like, I felt so much love all in one place where everyone was coming together. I didn't grow up with collectibles and toys. I'm like, I wish I had $1,000 to buy stuff. I have no idea what it is, but I'm having the time of my life and I feel so connected to everyone here. There was that in-person event, and the same thing happened when I was filming with James for Big Time Rush, going on tour with them for those 3 days. I met our members and our videos coming out. Every person that I'm videoing with are members, and we came and found each other, and it was like, oh my goodness, I get to see you face to face. And there was that bond. And so, yes to everything you're saying. We want to do virtual, but I want to do that in-person stuff.
I've met so many other fans at the various concerts.
Yeah.
Because they will spend their own money, their own time to make freebies to hand out to other fans.
I got my first bracelet. My first Big Time Rush bracelet was from a group of fans. They kept they had all these bracelets on, and they were giving them as gifts to each other.
Yep.
So, that's a charity we should do. We should have bracelets that we give away for like events. So then when they see each other, they can actually gift each other. I mean, or like have something where people like gift. Anyways, that was just an idea. I was like, I would love
And
the gifting.
You know what? You bring up BTR because we're connected to BTR, but BTR kind of started kind of like a K-pop group does, where it's like people like, I mean, they did the TV show and everything, but K-pop groups are very much like you got to audition and they make it very public. The K-pop auditions are very public.
Yes.
And they're all on stage and they have to get to know each other. And if those people don't visually connect in a way, they just can't be a part of the group. No. And what BTR kind of formed in the same way that a K-pop group does, where it's like, bring all these people in, they're immediately thrown in the spotlight. There's no build up. Like you're just here. You better know how to dance and sing. Yep. Or if you're Daeyeon, which is my girl, she like started flapping her wings like a chicken. It's just her personality. This is my other girl right here, Momo. Freaking love Momo, but her hair's been short for way too long, and it's like K-pop girls change their hair like every week, but she's had short hair for way too long. That's a tangent. But
yes, he's like, I know I brought this up again, but we're gonna bring it up again.
BTR started a lot like a K-pop group, and what it did is the fans saw them from the beginning.
Yes,
and they're still there. They're still kicking, and they're selling out stadiums, and they're doing world tours, and they can still do that because the fans have been with them this whole time.
I love that Mel just literally sent me a long and helpful guide to BTS. I love that she just sent me a whole guide when we're talking, because this is what it's about. And that's what I noticed when we went to this event. There were fans that are like, oh, we travel and go to events with each other. They make their posters together. They make their things that is a community. And what I saw even with working with the band, just like working with James and meeting the other band members, it was such a cool experience, because they've done all this journey together. They've grown up together. But that fan base and that connection that just keeps growing with them. And they've created their fandoms within each other. Fandoms, they have their names, they have all this stuff, and they meet each other all over. It was probably, especially the group of fans that were all up front. There was ones from all over the world, from Amsterdam, from France, from Italy. They were all there, but they all know each other. And they were the ones that were all up front together. They all had their signs together. I met so many cool people. Then I ended up at the last concert, one of our members, Camilla. Anyway, she's like, okay, you can drive back in the car with us. And she was going to take me. They were so nice. They even were like, they picked me up from the airport. This is why I love this fandom. Because I was like, okay, I'm arriving in Hershey. I accidentally got there 2 days early because we've messed up my flight. So I'm just sitting in a hotel and I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to get to the concert. I don't know where it's at. And she's like, nope, I got you. Picked me up from the airport, drove me to the stadium. She happened to go to all 3 concerts I was going to. Then these fans drove me back to Albany, New York, and completely they're like, we got you. I ended up driving because they were all so hyped and so exhausted and had not slept in days. I was like, nope. I've slept more than you guys. I'm driving. I will drive you back. Just so I actually drove, and it was like the whole way home was like, they were like singing and freaking out over Twitter, and James is on Twitter, and I'm like, James, and I'm getting all of James's notifications. So I'm trying to drive and watch my thing. The notifications are coming through because I'm connected to his Twitter. And then all the girls in the car are responding. And so I'm literally like swiping. I'm like, oh my God, guys, please stop talking and responding to his tweets just for a second, because I'm getting every notification on my phone so fast. And they're just screaming and I'm driving. And I'm like, this is the best. But they literally had my back, that they're like, oh no, we got you. And it was this instant thing. And I'm like, I love that. And I met because of Big Time Rush, but met this community, and now they're driving me from concert to concert just so I can video hanging out with the guys. And I'm like, this is such a cool group.
We will meet up with Shelby and Peyton in Duluth, Georgia.
Yeah.
And Duluth has the largest Korean population.
You've told me this, yes.
In the Southeast, which is just insane to me that it's a 20-minute drive from Atlanta. but it's
Wow.
this entire culture deposit.
I love that.
And I mean, there's stores, there's grocery stores, restaurants. There's a Japanese store there called Tesso Life that brings products over from Japan. I mean, I buy sodas there. I buy my skincare there. I buy stuff for the house from there.
I love it.
I mean, it's just snacks. Oh my God, the snacks.
Oh, the snacks. Don't even
Oh
get me
my
started
God,
on
the
the
snacks.
snacks. The Asian snacks are out of this world, bro.
Oh
Like,
my God. There is a plum candy, and I will bring you some the next time we meet.
Oh,
There's a plum candy that I get that we bought first in Korea. And you can get it at a place called H Mart. It's the only place I've found it so far. But it tastes just like a plum, but it is not overly sweet.
yep.
That is what I love about any of the bakeries down there that we visit is you can get a piece of cake and it looks like it's going to be just sickeningly sweet, but it's not.
Oh, I love that.
And I don't know what, and I hate to say this, but I don't know what Americans are doing wrong
I-
because it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
a sugar rush
No.
to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
I find the
even
sugar rush now to be so off-putting.
Yes.
Like I will go and I will spend $150 at Tesla Life
Wow.
and get like
Well, they put the sugar in it because
20, 30 different sodas,
yes.
and I will make them stretch because they're less sweet.
Yeah.
They have more flavor.
Yeah.
Japan, I know Japan does this. And I believe South Korea does it too. Is the more fruit juice that is actually in something, the bigger the piece of fruit on it represents. If something is just a whole piece of fruit, it is not contain any fruit juice and is most likely more artificial flavor than anything. So you cannot put an open piece of fruit on something
Oh, I
if it does
love that.
not contain actual fruit juice.
that's good.
See, okay, this is a whole nother conversation. I have so many things we can go into this because it's like, but I know because I'll start getting attached to a brand of food and it doesn't have a lot of sweetness in it and it has the sweeteners that I can do. And it will not be within 6 months. And this is what happened to me yesterday when I had the bad food reaction. They switched out the ingredients and it was so sweet. I had a reaction that my heart was, oh, he was there. My heart was pounding. He was getting the after effects. I was driving 2 hours home.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
I was panicking. I was driving home and at one point I was like, I'm going to have to stop on the highway, put my flashers on and just sit here and calm down because I cannot concentrate. I'm getting such a reaction. But they do that to say all that. They do that because they're so competitive we must get people so addicted. It's not even about the quality of flavor or how good it tastes. It's about getting people to have an instant rush of intense dopamine to their gut and their body that makes them go ravagely like an addict. I need more versus, oh my goodness, I enjoyed this experience. I loved how I felt. That was so much fun. I'm going to still spend $150 and cherish each thing. And I have a much deeper connection and I will support this more than me over in the corner like a ravaged dog, like going, don't you dare fuck my stuff, don't touch my stuff. Because that's how I feel when I would eat some of this stuff. I'd be like, no, I need to hide it. I don't want to share it. Where when you have good food, the first thing you want to do is like, ooh, let's cook together. I want everyone to taste how good this is. Most American food doesn't make you want to share. It makes you want to hide it in a closet and binge by the trash can, which I used to do, just sit there and eat at night by the trash can and hope that no one would see me eating. And then if someone came down, I'd shove it in the trash can or hide it, and then because I just didn't want to share it. It was just it was wild to me. But that's why I love hearing like, even with the fruits, like, oh, you have to represent that. And I love hearing how we've started with K-pop and it's like, oh, it's led you into food, into community, and to all these things that I'm getting so excited to create and do with everyone here. And I know we're going to have to wrap because at some point I'm just going to keep going and Calby, the editor, is going to love me for like, this is 3 hours and 45 minutes, and we've had so much fun. So same thing I told Huey. I was like, we need to do another one of these because we haven't even touched all the other. We need to get into travel because I want just to do one. So just so everyone knows what's coming up next with Mel, we want to do one just around. She is not just someone who's deeply involved in the community, as you've heard now, but she builds community experiences as a travel agent to all these different places. And as we build out the Discord, we're going to have a special spot for Mel there. So for fans that are looking to go to these experiences, not just online, but out and about, you will have a trusted person that we love working with. This is just for her. We're like, listen, we just need to give you a spot because you know so much about fandoms and what they care about, that to go to someone that isn't just like, oh, I'm a travel agent, blah, 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 blah. No. They are the most hardcore fan that experience. They're going to be able to see it through your perspective. So you're going to be able to tell Mel, hey, we're looking for this. We want to travel. And because I know you're going to be going, how can I create this whole trip for them, this experience for them? And so
I just booked somebody a Tokyo Disney package, which I don't even get paid. Like in the US, Disney pays our commission as travel agents. Okay. There's no planning fee I charge. There's no nothing. Same thing with Universal.
Yeah.
Or SeaWorld. I don't have to charge a planning fee or a commission, anything like that, because it's already included. I get absolutely nothing by using your information to book your Tokyo Disney package for you. I get no commission off that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but what I'm working on right now is not only building their itinerary, but also building an itinerary for, like, I want to create a BTS experience package.
Oh, I love that.
And I want it to be places where you can go and experience, like, Jimin's dad's restaurant in Busan, where it's just filled with BTS memorabilia. The cafe where the boys used to go eat 1 to 2 times a day when they were just starting out, and bring that to them, that is now full with memorabilia. And the members still go there.
Yeah.
When they're in that area, they still go there. I want to build stuff like that. I want to do one for Stray Kids. I want to do one for ATs. I want to do one for BTB, which are the groups that I primarily am drawn to for one reason or another. I'm expanding. I'm getting now into Hyphen and TXT a little bit. I'm starting to know some of them. I'm starting to get a little bit into NCT, not a whole lot yet, because it's a lot. Whenever you start going into a new group, it is freaking insane. There is so much to learn. And if you're coming in late to the group and you don't start from the beginning, you have so much back stuff.
Well, that's what you're going to be here for. You're going to be able to build out these experiences almost to be like, here's your beginner's journey. If you are brand new to being a fan, here's the map, the guide to this experience. And that's what I mean, like I said, we're going to talk offline about this as well, because I'm like, that's so cool. Because when I think about that for fans, when we were talking to Huey, like Huey's like, hey, I came across Holland because of her YouTube channel with van life. She looked familiar. I did not remember that I had only watched one episode of Teen Wolf. And then they're like, but then I started watching the van life, connected with that, then looked Holland up, and then became a Teen Wolf fan. Because anyways, so the journey, but that was 10 years after the show had hit. Like, it's just recently. And so there's so much, and that's how I feel sometimes. Oh my goodness, I would love a guide. When I hear you talk about your community, and I watch Cody get excited, I watch you get excited, I want to be a fan, and I'm going, I don't know where to start. It's so overwhelming. But you want to be a part of it. See, but you want to be a part of it. You guys make me want to be a part of something amazing I don't even understand, but when I see how you care about it, I'm going, oh, I want to feel that care. So the idea that you could give fans, where we have a podcast like this, and then it's like, oh, connect with Mel, get her downloadable PDF or whatever she's doing to get you on that journey. But also, when you, as a travel agent, you can create these I mean, there's just, I think it goes so many cool areas. And I'm just so glad that you're a part of the community here, not just because of who you are as a human being, but because you deeply care. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go on Upwork. Hey, can I find someone to moderate something or do something because they know how to do channels? No, I want to find someone. I want to connect with you where we can sit here and we could talk for 2 hours about something. And it's like,
We actually got involved with Austin because we were on a page, a Facebook page, which is now his official page. That was the only Facebook page out there that specifically stated in the about information that we are not in contact with Austin. We are
because
not
you were
in contact
honest.
with, we were not in contact with anybody that was close to Austin. This is just a fan page for Austin.
It was authentic and Austin and Austin. It was authentic and honest and transparent to the fans because so many pages pose as we're connected, we're this, and he was able to know right away, oh, I can actually connect with these people because they're not trying to steal my identity or scare my fans or cheat my fans. And
that was, I mean, Zach is the one that approached us at Lexington Comic-Con.
Yeah.
In 2014.
Wow.
And we were working with Dan Southworth at the time. The reason why Susan and I don't do fan dinners is because we can go out and eat with these guys.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah.
I don't want to take away from another fan's experience of being able to talk to this person face to face when I can get to do it on my own.
Yeah.
For far longer in a much more intimate setting.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not a timed event or anything like that. So I don't want to take away from that from other fans. But when we first started talking to Austin, he was still in the Middle East. Yeah. And you could hear that over the phone line sometimes.
Wow.
And we never even met him. We had t-shirts set up, lanyards set up, wristbands. We had organized him to get his helmet. We had gotten a morpher made for him and all this stuff before he even set foot back in the US.
Wow.
And
wow, you guys had everything. You
we
were the
did not
reason
meet
why
him.
he was able to launch.
Yeah, we did not even meet him face to face until Houston, I think it was called Comic Palooza at the time, on Memorial Day of 2014.
Wow.
That's the first day we met him face to face. And we literally had a bunch of fans with us when we presented him with his helmet. And I think I still have that video somewhere.
Oh my goodness, I want to see that.
Because I was the original photographer.
That's wild.
Austin brought his camera, and I was shooting around 11 to 1,200 pictures per show. 11 to 1,200 pictures per show. And then my roommate at the time would go through them all and edit and pick out some of the best ones and all that, and then we'd share them on the Facebook page. So we've been with Austin for 11 years now.
You created Austin. You his fan base in the US. I'm saying you like because he was gone. He didn't know what was even happening, and you guys were nurturing. Once again, you were nurturing the community. You were doing, in a sense, you basically started what we did, but we started right away with him and then built it alongside. But we didn't because we actually found you, and then you helped us build it here as well. But like you created that space where fans could come. You were honest with them, said, we're not associated, we're not this. We're just fans that care, and we want to create something. Which
we actually got onto that page. We came in as mods.
Wow.
We didn't even come in as admins. We came in as mods. And then we built his Twitter. We built his IG. I built his YouTube.
Yeah.
And so all those original videos and all that kind of stuff that are on his YouTube channel came from me.
I love that.
And my roommate, Jamie, was editing them for us and helping us and put the intro in and all that kind of stuff. You know, but that very first video that's on there is him doing a welcome back to the fans.
Wow.
and it's only audio. So we put some clips in there, some pictures and all that in there, so there'd be video to it. But yeah, we put everything together for him, and still 11 years later, like, talk about notifications. He's at an event this weekend,
Yes.
and so I keep getting all the sales of it
Gosh.
because I'm connected to everything.
I
I'm
know.
on his Shopify, all of his social media, and it's just like I keep getting notice after notice after notice. And here in a little bit, I've got to make another post about
Yes.
his events coming up and his next events, and reminding people he'll be at the show tomorrow, and all this kind of stuff. And it's just like on
Wow.
season is just so much of a rush. So not
Yes.
only am I finishing up a travel agent course, not only am I finishing up a teach English as a foreign language course.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, I did
I'm
that. I did that
Yeah,
too.
I'm doing all of his social media. I'm doing all my social media for the travel agency,
Yes. You need to
and I'm
send us
booking
your
clients.
handles. You need to send us your handles for your social
Yes,
media so we can make sure we put this in here.
I
Yeah, we'll
definitely
put it in
will.
the description.
Yeah.
Yep. And and so, like, we're bringing Susan's mom home.
Oh my gosh.
So we're over there cleaning up the house. We're making a ramp for her. We're moving her bedroom downstairs so that she has a place where she can feel included and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And so we're going to be helping take care of her a little bit as well, not overwhelming ourselves
Yeah.
like we did the first time, but it's just like, I don't stop.
No.
And so, like, I left the VA, and the 20th of this month will be 1 year.
Yeah.
1 year since I left, because I was not healthy mentally.
Yeah.
I was having anxiety on Sunday nights.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep. I wouldn't go to sleep till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'd be up at 6:30 to be online by 7 to start my shift.
Yeah.
And the last night of the week that I'd work, that the night before, I'd be stressing and having anxiety because something that happened at work triggered a bunch of things I had suppressed from my military
Yeah.
career, and it basically opened up Pandora's box.
Yeah.
And I went through a lot. And and since, like, I mean, I lost my house to a fire. I lost my mom to cancer. I lost my dad to cancer after he had remarried. Then I changed school. I went to one school for 11 years. And I changed schools my senior year. I went from a class where I would have been, 10th of 72 or even higher. I think I moved up to 7th out of 72 to a class where I was one of 340 something.
Yeah.
I went from 60 guys and 12 girls to being lost in the crowd.
Yeah.
And the Navy was the only way I got out of all that.
Yeah.
I didn't have the grades at that time. After transferring schools, I didn't have the grades to go to college.
Yeah.
I'd stuck myself into school playing sports and doing activities and trying to get involved to take my mind off my home life.
Yeah.
And then I joined the Navy, did that for 7.5 years, got out, and I was physically broken. I have shoulder issues, I have back issues, I have knee issues, I have stomach issues, I have asthma now, I have severe PTSD,
Yeah.
where I've been labeled 100% disabled for that alone.
Yeah.
And that's been determined permanent and total, that it's
Good.
never really going to get better. It's affected my ability to have a romantic life.
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't. So
Yeah.
I am a traumatic ace,
Yeah.
as I've been labeled. And then I lost my nephew to suicide. Then I lost my sister to a possible suicide.
Yeah.
And then I lost my sister-in-law to disease.
Yeah.
And then I lost my brother to a possible unknown drug overdose. Like, he didn't know what was going on. And then I lost my brother-in-law, and so I have and then I lost my aunt between all that, and she was just old. and I loved her to death. She was like a second mom to me. And so I grew up being taught how to stand on my own 2 feet.
Yes.
And me being able to finally reach out and ask for help was just so substantial.
Yes.
Like, I asked for help in December of 23, and I didn't get my first appointment with a counselor or anything until like March of 24. And then my first actual meeting with a psychologist or psychiatrist, I don't know which exactly she is, was not until August, like right before Morphicon that year. And
Wow. That's wild.
yeah. And so I was already on meds, thankfully, for that. But sitting down and talking with Austin after hours,
Mhm.
after Power Morphicon had ended, when he told me that I had to stop putting others first and do something for me,
Yeah.
that was what gave me the courage to finally, from the month from between that little like 3, 4 weeks in between that, that really got the ball rolling for me to decide that I have done enough for others
Yeah.
by putting them first. Because I've always been the shoulder everybody cried on. I've always been the rock for everybody else. And it finally got to the point of, where's my rock?
Yes.
And then, because I've never really felt that I could turn to anybody. And it took me a long time to be able to like turn to Susan for some of this
Yes.
stuff. And Austin really kind of kicked me in the ass per se.
Yeah. He did for me too.
Sometimes
And
we need it.
we do. We do. And he basically sat me down and said, you've got to put you first.
Yeah.
He goes, before me, before anybody else, he goes, you've got to put you first, because if you don't put you first, you can't help anybody else.
Yeah.
You can't do for anybody else. And that was what led me to quitting,
I love
to
it.
resigning my position at the VA versus being fired, because I finally broke down one day and I called my manager, not my supervisor, because my supervisor had actually told me at one point, she told me two very contradictory things. She told me at one point, hey, take the time you need. If you need to step away, let me know. It's fine. We've got your back. And then, like the week before I made this call to my manager, she had actually told me that the team had carried me long enough
Hmm.
and that I needed to step up to the plate and pull my own weight. And that crushed me.
Yeah.
Because I was doing my level best. And my work hits that I had to do were getting done every week.
Yeah.
But the quota for them, it was quantity over quality.
Yeah.
And I've always been about the quality. I don't want to give something to somebody that's halfway done.
Yeah.
I would rather it take a little bit longer and put it together than rush something out to you and then you not be happy with it afterwards.
Yes.
Right.
I have to redo my own work. And I'm not about redoing my own work. Unless it's a change you ask for, I don't want to redo something I've already done.
Yeah.
And so that's when I started thinking about the travel business. And then putting a group, I started planning a trip for 3 or 4 of us back in late 2019 to go to Japan. And then COVID hit
Yes.
and that got put on hold. And Japan did not fully open up until late 2023 with no restrictions, no vaccine requirements, no PCR tests, none of that kind of stuff. None of the rapid testing, no restrictions at all. And so in the meantime, we had made a plan to go to Korea instead. Because all of us were K-pop fans. Me and Susan, like Stray Kids, ATs, and BTB together. She's kind of reserve army, as she calls it. Hobie is her stan. Stan is who you fan the most. And so when Japan opened up, we're like, well, Japan is where we all really wanted to go.
Yes.
So let's just do a quick stop in Korea. and then go to Japan. So, and that's what we did. And so I planned my first trip. I didn't make anything off of it, but I planned the first trip for us to go to South Korea and Japan.
Well, that's what I'm excited about, getting, like, as you know, we're getting the discords up, and when you've been talking about this, like getting you into the fandoms, and also like, and this is why I was happy to do. I was so excited because one, I every time we do a podcast, I get to like learn something even more, because it's like it's just having a conversation. You're like, oh my goodness, we get a chance to really. The podcast is an excuse for Cody and I to talk to each other and talk to other people, because
actually, before you continue, can I say one thing?
Yes.
I know we're running long, but this
Yes.
we say this is our therapy.
Yes.
So, Mel, I relate to you a lot about Japan, and I just want to tell this story. I know we're running long, but when I was in my worst depression, I was at the end of my rope. Like, just, it was over. I didn't want anything. I didn't have anything, didn't care about anything. It was just done. I was just done. My son got a PSVR headset for his birthday, for Christmas, one of the two. Now it's like, oh, VR is nothing. VR is just going to be a thing. Blah, blah, blah. It's just going to pass. One night I got curious, put it on, started going through YouTube to all the VR, videos. I clicked on a 3D walkthrough of Tokyo.
Oh.
And we had this conversation earlier with Huey about like how we lock our childhoods away and we move away from them, and getting that back is what frees us. That night, those 3D walkthroughs of Tokyo changed my life. I was a guy who sat in a computer chair all day long. That night, I was standing in the TV room, in the living room, walking in place just to feel like I was somewhere. Because when I was 6, when I was 7, when I was 8, when I was 9, when I was 10, all the way up until I lost myself, my dream had always been to go to Asia. That VR headset gave me a taste of that. And for so long I had thought, oh, it's not a real place. It's this place I can never go. It's unrealistic. My family's never had money. I've never had money. I never will. I'll never go to Asia. But that night, with that headset on, sweating my ass off, walking in place in that living room, my life changed completely. The next day I got a gym membership. Over the year after that, I lost 100 pounds. I ended up learning, I got an intermediate level of Japanese. I've lost most of it now because I live in Thailand for 3 years, but I got to an intermediate level of Japanese. I started dating this girl from Fukuoka. I had this long distance relationship. It was like sparks every day, and everything was just sparking right. And now I live in Thailand. I've lived here for 3 years. And it's like, that kind of what you're talking about with your travel agency and all this other stuff. It's like, that stuff was just a dream to me. I never could have imagined it was real. I never could have imagined I'd be talking on a podcast in my Thailand 2-story house. Like, you know what I mean? Like these things they feel unrealistic until they're real. And you're walking through a Buddhist temple, and you're walking along. I never thought I'd even see the ocean. And I've been on it. And it's like, you were talking about all of your trauma and stuff. And like, that was what broke me from mine, just the idea that it could be real.
I got saved my senior year of high school by joining Law Enforcement Explorers. It got to the point where I was planning.
Yeah, me same.
On how to go about it.
Yep, same.
And I got invited by one of the girls in my advanced trig class. Shoot me now. And that literally gave me something to look forward to every week.
Yep.
And that literally saved my life. And
it's funny how it's just anything. Like, it depends on who you are. It could be, it could be a fan. It could be Austin sitting you down and saying, hey, look after yourself. It could be anything. Yep. It's funny how we all have something different.
Yeah. And BTS saved me during the depression of, being locked inside during COVID and all that, because their music, their lyrics just spoke to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, RM saying that, you have to love yourself in order to love somebody else. That hit, and then, just following along and then learning about them, learning about the members and the stuff they've gone through. Like Mingy left for a while from ATs because of mental health issues.
Yeah.
He went through a severe depression area and had to step away for a little bit in order to take care of himself.
Right. And they make that public. They
do.
completely open to us. They let us see that. And like with you and BTS, it's like when I was losing that 100 pounds every day on the elliptical, you know what I was listening to? Twice. It was twice every day for the entire time I was watching the music videos, and I was going, these women are beautiful. Like, run for them. Just run for Twice. And I lost 100 pounds. I couldn't have done that without Twice. It sounds ridiculous to somebody who doesn't understand it.
It does.
I could not have lost 100 pounds if I wasn't watching their music videos, if I wasn't sitting there on the elliptical sweating my balls off doing the dances, whatever it was. And
I would not even. I would hurt something. If I tried to do a third of the moves that BTS does.
Oh yeah.
I would hurt. I would wrench my back or dislocate a knee or something if I try that. And I have a black belt in karate.
Yeah, me too.
I have a black belt in Wado Ryu, and I am the klutziest black belt you will ever find. I have tripped on the mat while we were running around the mat, fallen and bounced because of the mat, and got back up. I broke my toe at a tournament.
I broke my ankle at a tournament.
I broke my little pinky toe at a tournament. Had to go over to my head sensei.
You see my crooked nostrils?
I got a little bit too.
Broken nose right here.
I had to go
kicked
over
in the
to my
face
head
really
sensei.
hard.
I went over to my head sensei and got tape. Taped my pinky toe to my next toe. Walked over, got my bow. Well, I iced my foot for 20 minutes before my tournament was supposed to start. Walked over, got my bow, and got in my box area. And one of my senseis, one of my teachers, looked down and says, "What'd you do?" I said, "I broke my toe." He breaks down laughing. And the female that's next to him, and I don't remember her name for nothing, looks at Dustin and goes, "Mr. Tate, you shouldn't laugh at her." He goes, No, you don't understand. We call her the toe destroyer."
Oh my God.
My first time sparring, we were playing knee tag. I stepped on the guy's foot. It rolled his second toe underneath his big toe and sliced his toe open where he had to get 7 stitches.
Oh my God.
I had the very bad habit of being.
I love that's a habit. It's a habit.
It really was, because I could be looking dead at your face, not even being able to see my feet, and somehow smack my foot on top of your foot. So you could not lift that foot up to do anything.
When I broke my nose, I had blood all like dripping. When you break your nose, it's everywhere. It don't stop.
It is.
I had blood everywhere, and people are like, "Cody, stop. You don't stop when the adrenaline's going. You just don't."
No.
They're like, "Cody, stop. You're gonna," like, they thought I was gonna die. I'm like, "What's everybody's problem?" They stopped the match. I look down. My gi is red. My white gi is red.
Is red.
Dude, we're gonna have to stop. We're gonna have to
yes,
stop.
I know. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I know. I love this though. I'm literally like having so much fun that I'm like, oh my God. I'm just, yeah. I still work a restaurant job, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to eventually
just go kick somebody.
I know. I'm gonna work there. I know. I just need, listen, dude. This is so much. Okay, guys, this is awesome. We're going to do this again. There's going to be a part 2, 3, 4, 5, and 20, 21 episodes of just this, because this is so cool. And dude, Mel, thank you. Cody, thank you.
Thank you for letting me nerd out about K-pop for a little bit, because I don't have any K-pop friends.
I know. This is honestly, this is why I've just sat here, because there's those moments where you participate, and then there's those other moments where you literally just watch your friends have the time of their life, and you're like, it's like setting someone up on a really good date, and you're like, listen, I'm not even going to get involved. I'm just going to watch the joy that's coming from this, and yes.